Good morning. My name is Chuck Graziano with Inspired Performance Multisports, based out of Ramsey, New Jersey. I am a USAT Level 2 certified triathlon coach and a PSIA Level 3 certified alpine ski coach. And I coach people both individually, personally, one-on-one, as well as on the internet. I've done personally over 200 triathlons, including 14 ultra-distance or Ironman races, and been racing since about 1986. I'd like to talk to you this morning about the time of year. It's winter time in the northern hemisphere, and there's some specific kinds of things you can do this time of year. This is actually a great time of year to make some super gains and lay a great foundation for your race season. There's three main areas that you want to focus on this time of year. The first is what I consider to be probably the most neglected area, which is strength and strength training and conditioning. Most triathletes, most endurance athletes neglect that, think that just running and swimming and biking is all they need. I think that you should get yourself into a program similar to what they offer here. We're filming at Velocity Sports Performance in Mahwah. Programs similar to what they have here, or some strength training program is really essential to getting yourself in shape for a good multi-sport performance. Second, this is the time of year when you want to focus on nutrition and weight management issues. If you want to lose weight or gain weight, now is the time to do it. People who follow periodization schedules know that you're going to get more race specific as the year rolls on, and so you're not going to want to be counting calories later when your volume goes up and you're going to be dealing with trying to get maximum performance out of your body and trying to limit your nutrition at the same time. So this morning we're going to talk about making the third area, which is making gains in your performance through specific things to do for your individual events, swimming, biking, and running. As I said, we're going to talk primarily running. As I said, it's wintertime. There's some precautions you want to take before you get outside and start doing some running. And being an alpine ski coach for more than 30 years, it's amazing how I see people show up with the best skis in the world and the most expensive ski jacket you can buy, but grossly unprepared for the cold weather. Your head, your hands, and your feet are where your major heat loss occurs. So you want to make sure that you have good gloves, good hat, good socks on. You want to make sure that you do a good warm-up. A lot of times my athletes, I have them warm up on the bike indoors on a trainer for 15 to 20 minutes, get really well warmed up before they get outside and change clothes into something dry real quick, and then get outside and do the run while they're still warmed up. You want to maybe do some stretching. Some people don't believe in stretching much, but if you've got tight muscles, tight connective tissue, you want to do some stretching, but only after you do an extended warm-up. You don't want to stretch a cold muscle, especially this time of year. And finally, you don't want to be doing a lot of high-intensity work if it's very cold out. You want to make sure weather conditions are conducive to that high-intensity work that you're going to be doing. So let's talk about the specifics of making those performance gains this time of year. My athletes, I'm sure, are tired of hearing me say it this time of year, but there's two ways to improve your performance. You can either increase the level of work you're doing, work harder, or you can work smarter. You can work more efficiently, improve your economy. So we're going to talk about both of those with respect to running, but let me give you an example that's taken not from running. I don't know about you folks out there listening, but when I was a kid, I'd roll down the back window of my parents' car and I'd put my hand out the window. Then I'd feel my hand going up and down. As I move my hand up, I'd feel the pressure of the air pushing me back, and I'd move my hand down, and the hand would go down and up and down and up and down. And that was kind of a key thing to learn, because believe it or not, water is 784 times more dense than air. So can you imagine the drag that water creates against your body as you're trying to swim? So what's going to be giving you the best gains? Is it just dump in the water and start stroking away madly, getting across the other side of the pool, be out of breath, rest for a couple seconds, and do the same thing going back? Or are you going to be more affected by getting in the water, getting your body into the proper position prior to working on getting fast? I mean, you have to do both, but I think this time of year is a critical time to focus on those economies, to get your mechanics proper, so that you're getting into the sport and doing it well with a minimum effort put forward. So in running, some of the mechanical flaws, some of the things that I see oftentimes that we work on with drills, one is that when you're using energy for running, you want that energy to be directing you forward, not up and down. moving up and down. If you're on a treadmill sometime in the gym and you take a look in a mirror, you see your shoulders going up and down like this. That's all energy that's moving your body in the wrong direction. So you may want to try to move more forward, more smoothly, so that your body isn't going up and down. You want your foot to be landing under your center of mass, not in front of it. If your foot's landing in front of your center of mass, you're probably getting some braking action, which forces you to slow down almost to a microsecond stop and then reaccelerate, which is a waste of energy. You also want to make sure that your foot is moving up and down and not swinging back and forward. And finally, you want to make sure that your foot is in contact with the ground for the least possible amount of time. You don't want to be on the ground extended. The more time you're spending on the ground, the less efficient you're running. So there are drills to do to improve those mechanics, and I'll say this, that a lot of the advanced level athletes that I come across, they think that they're too advanced for drills. They're not. Athletes from the very beginning level to the very advanced Olympic levels work on drills to keep their mechanics proper. If they are moving proper now, it's to check and test and make sure that the mechanics are always optimal. Let's talk a little bit about what everybody wants to talk about, and is how do I get going faster, running faster. This time of year, the specific kind of interval that you want to be doing is referred to as a VO2 max interval. Now, the VO2 max interval is not just going fast, going slow, going fast, going slow. VO2 max interval is a very intense, very short interval that's characterized by a very short recovery period. Now, the purpose of it is to increase your cardiovascular capacity, increase the ability to deliver oxygen to the muscles. And so, in order to get benefits from a VO2 max interval, you have to accumulate a total of at least 15 minutes and up to about 30 minutes of time in the zone, at your VO2 max heart rate zone. If you don't know what that is, it's about 95% of maximum effort. You want to be close to that. If you know your VO2 max heart rate level is, you want to get to within 92 to 108% of your VO2 max heart rate. You want to do short intervals short enough so that you can sustain the interval session long enough without fatiguing too much, but long enough so that you again accumulate that minimum of 15 and maximum of 30 minutes in the zone of accumulated time. So an example might be that you run 15 times 1 minute at 95% effort with a 30-second recovery. 30-second recovery is going to be short because your heart rate lags effort by 1 to 2 minutes. So, if you allow yourself to recover for 1 to 2 minutes, your heart rate's going to come right back down again, and then you're going to spend most of the next interval bringing that heart rate back up into the zone, so you're not going to reach that 15 minutes of accumulated time in the zone. So you want to make the recovery short enough so you get a little bit of recovery, but not heart rate getting too slow. So that's the best kind of interval to do this time of year. You should be doing it maybe once a week. You want to be doing 80 or 85% of your training mostly aerobically, which a lot of people do not do. They focus more on more intense work, which is not necessary, but getting a good VO2 max session will improve your speed and performance. So that's it. Again, Chuck Graziano from Inspired Performance Multisport in Ramsey, New Jersey. Train safe and have fun.
Okay, Chuck, where can we find you?
You can find me at ipmultisports.com. I'm on Facebook as Inspired Performance Coaching. And you can also call me with any questions on my mobile phone, which is 201-506-3300. That's 201-506-3300. Hi, I'm Chuck Graziano, and this is 140.6 Media.